Hi, welcome. I've been expecting you. Come on in, I want to show you something. In the book that you've just been looking at, the pages of the book that you've just been looking, we've gotten to a place where it's a kind of transition place. I wanted to make things clear to you. Since this is a miracle of the electronic book, the e-book, we can do this. We can sort of step out of the pages and explain something to you. So since we have this opportunity, I thought I'd take advantage of it. We've just been looking at this normalized belief structure, this cause-effect means. All beliefs have this. Every single belief in the world has this structure, although we found out they usually aren't represented that way. They're usually labeled when they represent a whole belief, but it's just a little sort of label, like I believe in Santa Claus, or it's good, something like that. We've learned to unpack them, to elicit from our clients, from our person that we're talking to, their entire belief. We've learned how to do that. Then we've just looked at how you can take that and you can divide it. And what sleight of mouth has always done is it sort of takes part of that, like the if-then, and it moves it over. So it becomes represented by just two squares. A causes B. Right? We've also looked at, you can take the second part of this, the complex equivalence, and represent it basically in the same graphic representation, but in this case, B equals C. So we're splitting this up into these two parts. So this is still, if it's too fast, then it won't last. And this is still, if it won't last, then it's not worth doing. So that means it's not worth doing. We've just sort of split it out. And then on page, I think it was 22 through 23, we went through a bunch of different things you could say as reframes to this side of the belief. You know, we went through another outcome, we went through a consequence pattern, we went through a whole bunch of different ones. And then we did the same thing, I think it was pages 24 through 26. The book is being revised as we speak, as I speak right now, so the page numbers might be slightly different, but you know what I'm talking about. This next section of the, if it won't last, so it's not worth doing, went through all the different responses to that. I think it was 24 to 26, as I said. What's about to come up in the book is a graphic representation of all that we've just done, where we've split these apart, and then we've done the reframes, the sleight of mouth patterns, and put them into a graphical form so that each of them has the entire sleight of mouth patterns represented. The same ones that were written out, but they're written out in this graphic form. So it looks at first to be slightly overwhelming, I guess, maybe. But it really isn't, and it won't be, especially because soon in the book, soon, in the next few pages, we're going to take each of these patterns, each of the patterns that are here, and take it as much time as it needs to really go through each of the patterns, to really get them into you, ingrained in you. So we'll take a bunch of different patterns of just the hierarchy of criteria, so you know what that is. You'll represent that and graphically anchor it to that space and that place and that shape. Do that with a bunch of different patterns, so these things become automatic, anchored in you. It's going to be really easy, at least by comparison. And then when you do that, come back and look at these pages, and you'll see how actually easy it has become for you once you've really gone through this. This is one set of responses. This is another set of responses to this other half. I hope this is making it somewhat easier for you to comprehend, because I intentionally put all this stuff to give you a broad overview of what sleight of mouth is capable of. Don't be concerned to really understand this yet. You don't need to understand it yet. Just sort of need to appreciate what is coming and what sleight of mouth offers you. It offers you a bunch of choices of ways to respond to a single stated belief. So I hope that's a bit clearer, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you for buying the book.